Krishna.
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari.
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari.
Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana.
Yashodanandana Vrajana Ranjana.
Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana.
Yashodanandana Vrajana Ranjana.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jaya Radha Radha Kanta Radha Kanta Radhe.
Jaya Radha Radha Kanta Radha Kanta Radhe.
Jaya Gauranika Jaya Gauranika, Jaya Gauranika. Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol,
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Yom Vishnupada Prabhu Prabhupada Shloka Krishna Samstapana Vaishnava Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Sri Goswami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Param Bhakti Gaura Kishore Das Prabhuji Maharaj Ki Jai. Vaishnava Sarvam Jagannath Das Prabhuji Maharaj Ki Jai. Sri Bhaktivinoda Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasa Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopika Radha Kunda Shama Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Rajbhumi Shri Vrindavan Ram Ki Jai. Mayapur Shri Navadvip Dham Ki Jai. Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai. Mathura Vrindavan Bhakta Ki Jai. Kamai Nama Ki Jai. Krishna Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Aur Bhakta Samrati Bhoti Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayana Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayesha Patreshu Nityam Bhagavate Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nishtaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter number 17, text number 26. Yam cha bhumir bhagavata
Yam cha bhumir bhagavata
Nyasitoru varasati
Nyasitoro bharasati
Srimad Vittatpada Nyasaihi
Srimad Vittatpada Nyasaihi
Sarvatah Krita Kautuka
Sarvata Krita Kautuka
Yam cha bhumir bhagavata
Yam cha bhumir bhagavata
Nyasitoru varasati
Nyasito bharasati
Srimad Vittatpada Nyasaihi
Srimad Vittatpada Nyasaihi
Sarvatah Krita Kautuka
Sarvata Krita Kautuka
Yam cha bhumir bhagavata
Yam cha bhumir bhagavata
Nyasitoru varasati
Nyasito bharasati
Srimad Vittatpada Nyasaihi
Srimad Vittatpada Nyasaihi
Sarvatah Krita Kautuka.
Sarvata Krita Kautuka.
Vaishnavas?
I can't.
There's a
I can't even read that.
It's too small.
It's not even like the word.
It's too small for
Maybe
me.
we can just modify this. Yamcha.
Yamcha.
Yam cha bhumir bhagavata Nyasitoru bharasati Srimad Vittatpada Nyasaihi
Srimad Vittatpada Nyasaihi
Sarvata Krita Kautuka
Sarvata Krita Kautuka Imam cha bhumir bhagavata
Yam cha bhumir bhagavata
Nyasitoru bharasati
Nyasitoru bharasati
Srimad Vittatpada Vyasa
Srimad Vittatpada Nyasaihi
Sarvata Krita Kautuka
Sarvata Krita Kautuka.
Vaishnavas?
Yamcha bhumir bhagavata
Yam cha bhumir bhagavata
Nyasitoro bharasati
Yansito Parasati
Srimad Vistatpadanyasai
Srimad Vistatpadanyasai
Sarvada Krita Kautuka
Sarvata Krita
Translation by Stephen Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Shri Prabhu.
Yam, this. Cha.
Cha.
And. Bhumihi. Surface of the earth.
Surface of the earth.
Bhagavata.
Bhagavata.
By the personality of God.
By the personality of God.
Nyasita. Being performed personally as well as by others.
Being performed personally as well as by others.
Uru.
Great.
Bhara. Burden. Sati. Being so done. Srimad Bihi. By the all auspicious. Tat. Padanyasaihi. Footprints. Sarvataha. All around. Krita. Done. Kautuka. Good fortune. Translation by Stephen Grace Prabhupada. The burden of the earth was certainly diminished by the personality of Godhead and by others as well. When he was present as an incarnation, all good was performed because of his auspicious footprints. You also read the next verse?
Yeah, you just read the Sanskrit. There's no purport to this one, so just read the Sanskrit yourself, and then we'll do the translation. I say, you say, kind of thing.
Sojati ashtu khala sadvi durkha kevo jahita sati akramanya nrpavyajaha shudra pokshanti ma iti. Now she, the chaste one, being unfortunately forsaken by the personality of Godhead, laments her future with tears in her eyes. For now, she is being ruled and enjoyed by the lower class men and cautious rulers. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The Kshatriya, or the man who is qualified to protect the sufferers, is meant to rule the state. Untrained lower class men or men without ambition to protect the sufferers cannot be placed on the seat of an administrator. Unfortunately, in the age of Kali, the lower class men without training occupy the post of a ruler by strength of popular votes. And instead of protecting the sufferers, such men create a situation quite intolerable for everyone. Such rulers illegally gratify themselves at the cost of all comfort of the citizens. And thus the chaste Mother Earth cries to see pitiable conditions of her sons, both men and animals. That is the future of the world in the age of Kali. When irreligiosity prevails most prominently, and in the absence of a suitable king to curb irreligious tendencies, educating the people systematically in the teaching of Srimad Bhagavatam will clear up the hazy atmosphere of corruption, bribery, blackmail, etc. Hari Om Tat Sat. Magyānātimirāndasya gyānāñjana-śalākaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Tati Swapadantikam Mukam Karoti Vācālam Pangum Langāyate Girim Yaskripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatharanam Paramanandamatavam Shri Chaitanya Vishwaram. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatharine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to speak from Srimad Bhagavatam. Although I'm not very qualified, I beg for your blessings to be able to render some justice to the verse that is given to me. The verse is Yancha Bhumir Bhagavata Nyātikoru Ra Sati Srimad Vyastadpadanyasaihi Sarvatha Krita Kautuka. Translation: the burden of the earth was certainly diminished by personality of Godhead and by others as well. When he was present as an incarnation, all good was performed because of his auspicious footprints. So the context of the verse is that punishment and reward of Kali. Maharaj Parikshit, on being coronated as a king, so he sets forth going around his kingdom and seeing whether his subjects are living happily and everything is going as per dharma. So in his journey, he more or less sees everything in perfect order. And as he was going from one place to another, so at one specific place, he saw something which caught his attention. So there was a cow and there was a bull, and the bull was standing on one leg, and the cow was crying very piteously. And the person who was creating the scene, responsible for the scene, was standing close by. So it was a very strange and also very something that caught the attention of the king. So he immediately went to inquire what is happening there. And he first sought some statement from the cow. So he asked the cow, what is happening? Why are you crying? Who is responsible for this? So in order to get the evidence from the cow directly, that the person who is standing around, who looked very suspicious, who looked very out of order. So he wanted to get an evidence from the first victim. So the cow started to say a few things. And the cow was giving a description of the situation, what brought her and the bull to the situation. So that's the beginning of the age of Kali. So when Pandavas left, they coronated Maharaj Parikshit as the king. And Lord Krishna also left at the same time. And it is said the time when Lord Krishna left his planet, Kali Yuga immediately started over. The end of Kali Yuga started over. So these 4 yugas, they come in a cyclic way. And we might always have this question, why these different yugas are like in different specific ways. They have their own different natures. So, from Srimad Bhagavatam we understand Dharma has 4 limbs. So it stands on Satyam, the truthfulness, Saucham, cleanliness, and Shama, merciful, and Tapa, austerity. These are the 4 limbs of the religion or Dharma. And from the yuga after yuga, the first yuga to the next yuga, you see one of the limbs slowly starts to vanish, and then the next yuga, again the same thing happens, finally leading to the Kali Yuga, where there is Dharma standing on just one limb. All the 3 limbs have already vanished. And so we see from this previous verse, the age of Satya Yuga, your 4 legs were established by 4 principles of austerity, cleanliness, mercy and truthfulness. But it appears 3 of your legs are broken due to a rampant irreligion, the form of pride, lust for women, and intoxication. Exact words are tapaha saucham daya satyam iti pada krite kritaha adharma amshay trayah bhagnaha smaya sangha madai antava. So there are 4 prohibited activities which is directly related to this 4 limbs of religion. There is Dyutam. Dyutam means doing, it is the truthfulness is destroyed by indulging in activities that is very, what is the word in the English?
Gambling.
Gambling, thank you. So the gambling directly destroys truthfulness. And association with irreligious women destroys saucha or cleanliness. And shuna is intoxication. So shuna is eating meat. That destroys shama or mercifulness. And pana or the drinking or intoxication destroys tapa or austerity. So only one limb that is said here to be still intact, in the beginning of Kali Yuga at least, is said to be the truthfulness. And all other limbs are destroyed at the time of Kali Yuga's beginning. And you might wonder why truthfulness is considered to be still there. And some might argue, but actually you can still see that there is some saucham, there is some shama, there is tapa, but there is no satyam. So, from the other authorities, you understand that the reason why we consider the truthfulness is still there is that so people have some interest in knowing the truth. They have some interest in knowing the truth. And Kali Yuga very specifically being an age of lot of suffering. So people generally have some interest in knowing the truth. And that is why truthfulness is still intact. Whereas cleanliness, as we understand, Kali Yuga is very difficult to be clean. It's a big austerity to be clean. So austerity is also not there. Cleanliness is also not there. Nobody is willing to perform austerities for their own spiritual welfare. They want everything quick. If you can give something quick solution, I'm ready to do something. So you want me to do all the tapasya, austerities, I'm sorry, you don't want to do that. So, also, Srimad Bhagavatam gives a very good solution for that, as we know. Viteya dhyayato Vishnu tetayam jitamukai vapare paricharyayam kalopta dharikirtana. Chanting of the names of God is the most easiest way. Nobody can do meditation, either they can do elaborate yajna process, or they cannot do any kind of elaborate temple worship. So the easiest way to achieve perfection is chanting the holy names of Krishna. So that the process is also easy. So they want something easy. They cannot do tapasya. And they also indulge in intoxication, which destroys tapasya. So intoxication, I wonder, how does it destroy tapasya? So, in order to approach the Supreme Person, you always need to take some sacrifice. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, I'm always present in sacrifice. Because sacrifice is the method that is given for any kind of purification. We have to purify ourselves to be able to approach the Supreme Lord. So that purification is necessary. And in fact, even when Lord Krishna created the entire creation and he brought Lord Brahma from his navel, so Brahma was bewildered, was wondering what is happening. So then Krishna spoke the words tapa, you should perform austerity. So because austerity is a very purifying way in which we can purify ourselves. Because we need to do prayaschitta, we need to atone for our sins that we have been committing. Unless we atone, we cannot purify ourselves. We have to at least atone in the mind for what we have done, our anarthas that we are still harboring in our heart. In order to do away with that, we have to at least atone. We have to pray with very great humility to the Lord. My dear Lord, please purify me. I am full of different kinds of unwanted things in the mind, in intelligence, and only by your own mercy, your kind mercy, there is any chance of purification. So the atonement is very important. To said in Kali Yuga, if you can even perform good things in your mind, it is as good as performing good things indeed. So it is mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So, we have that all at least in the mind. It's very important. So, Shama and mercy is also being Kali Yuga people. So, we are so much disturbed. And we are so much disturbed for many things. One is we are disturbed for, we have so much wantedness. And unless the wantedness gets fulfilled, we become very disturbed, we become agitated. And since the me and mine, aham, ameti, becomes so prominent in the mind, we don't consider others, their sensitivity and what others feel about what we do. Because me and mine becomes more prominent. And then we do not care for others' feelings. So we hurt others. So Shama is also almost absent. So, at different points of time, because of being jolted by the material nature, we come to our senses. Then we think about truthfulness. And again we fade away to the wilderness, and our own nature takes over. So, we have to be constantly reading Srimad Bhagavatam in order for all these inauspicious things to go away. So here we can see Mother Earth, she is telling to the king, this is my situation. So, the bull which is standing here is none other than Dharma. Dharma has already lost his 3 legs and just standing on the 4th leg. So, in the Srimad Bhagavatam we see that the earth is none other than one of the mothers. So, there are 7 mothers in the Vedic tradition. One of the mothers is earth, Bhumi. And Dharma is said to be the father. So, Srila Prabhupada says in the purport in many places that it's a very precarious situation in Kali Yuga. The cow and bull are not protected. The cow is just exploited and the bull is sent to a slaughterhouse. And this is the nature of Kali Yuga. And the cow is the symbol of religion. The cow is the Mother Earth. Mother Earth takes the form of cow. Even before the advent of Lord Krishna, so Mother Earth took the form of the cow, and then she went to Lord Brahma. Then she petitioned Lord Brahma, my dear Lord Brahma, this is a situation. The people who are irreligious and sinful, they have taken over the entire world. And I am not able to bear the burden of this whole people, sinful people. So please kindly do some remedy for the situation. So then, Lord Brahma takes Mother Earth to the Supreme Lord, Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, Kshir Sagar. And they place forward the petition of Mother Earth to Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu says, I am going to advent as Lord Krishna very soon. I am going to take birth as Lord Krishna, the Yadu family, Yadu dynasty, and all your difficulties will be sorted out. So, on petition of Mother Earth, Supreme Lord appears on this earth and he rids of all the unwanted population. Just like a farmer will take away all the weeds from the agricultural field. So Lord Krishna comes and wipes away all the unwanted population. And once that is done, he leaves this planet. That's what is the situation here. The Mother Earth is talking about Lord Krishna's lotus feet. The burden of the earth was certainly diminished with personality of God and others. When he was present as an incarnation, all good was performed because of his auspicious fulfillments. So because Lord Krishna was personally present, Kali could not take predominance. So he could not exercise his power. And when Lord Krishna left the planet, Kali took over. So why Kali? So is it like in the Abrahamic religions we have this, the God and Satan, or Satan, right? Is Satan more powerful than God? So beginning of Kali Yuga, Satan is Kali becoming more powerful than Krishna? Is that I'm posing a question to you. So what do you think?
No. You got the holy name, which is not different than God himself, Krishna himself, by chanting his name. There was actually a play like that, and at the end, I think Lee was in it, and Vishal and different devotees. And at the end, they could hear Kali and his mistress, or sin personified, and and they would hear in the Hare Krishna Mahamudra, and he was like freaking out, oh no, this is going to destroy what I've already made, and everything like that. So by having the chanting of Hare Krishna, we can be very happy to know that God sometimes, Krishna sometimes come like that.
Thank you very much, Mrs. That's very true. So by chanting the very names of Krishna, we can protect ourselves from Kali. That's the verdict of the scriptures. Iti shodashaka namnam Kali kalmashanashanam nata paratrupaya sarabedeshu drishyate. So that is very true. So it is like an antidote, it is like an antibiotic. So it's going to protect us from the influence of Kali. But we still see Kali is influencing the whole world. It is completely controlling the whole world. Everybody is in the clutches of their nature, and they are performing irreligious and sinful activities all the time. So it did not happen when Lord Krishna was there. When Lord Krishna was there, everything was set right. So again, putting the question back, anybody has any other things to say about this? We still see Kali being very predominant. So does it mean Kali is more powerful than Krishna? Yes, Krishna has given us a way to protect ourselves. But in the world around, we still see Kali is very predominant. Is Krishna absent? What do you think?
I think that's our challenge, is that Kali Yuga will continue to increasingly take charge of the remaining universe. He's gradually expanding his power, and he's being allowed to do so by Krishna stepping out of the picture. But he has given us the Mahamantra to protect ourselves. So it's our responsibility. After 4 yugas, we're down to the last chance to turn to Krishna. And so, yes, the name is as powerful as Krishna himself. He is present in his name. And we have to take shelter of his name to protect ourselves from Kali's influence. But it's a personal thing. Someone else can't chant the Hare Krishna mantra for us. We have to do it ourselves. We have to be intensely sincere about begging for Krishna's mercy.
Thank you very much for summarizing. The answer I was looking for is that Krishna stepped out on his own to let Kali take over. So it is all happening with this sanction. It's not that it is happening because Kali is more powerful than Krishna.
Right.
So why is Krishna stepped out? It's because Krishna is definitely present there, and he says in the first canto, the first chapter, in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So when Krishna left the place, the Saunakadis, the sages who assembled in the Naimisharanya, they were asking, where did Dharma go? So, and the Shukadeva Maharaj says that Dharma has gone into Srimad Bhagavatam. That's where it resides. So definitely Krishna is there. Krishna has given the way to protect ourselves from the plains of Kali. But he stepped out so that Kali can take over. Because Kali, as it is said here in the next verse, in the previous verse, Kali flourishes by deceit. So deceit means opposite to truth. So truth is there, he said. All 3 limbs are gone. Truthfulness is there. And Kali is representing deceit, which means it is just opposite to truthfulness or cheating. That's what is Kali. Being sly and being deceitful. So, Kali, when it progresses, Kali is not a person who takes over. There's a personification of Kali, but that's actually the situation Krishna puts us into. So he has 4 yugas, and the first yuga is said to be the best yuga, and it goes on as one by one the dharma becomes 1/4 reduced. So that's because people come in to live in different yugas. People are constantly transmigrating from one species to another, from one planet to another, but they all find their own place in different yugas according to their own different karmas wherever they are coming from. And So Kali Yuga being the most irreligious, or tending towards the most irreligious. So there are going to be two kinds of people. People who are exploiting and exploitable. Some people, as we see in the purport, Prabhupada is saying, the irreligious and incompetent rulers, they're just going to be worried about their own welfare, their own amassing wealth, not caring for the suffering people. So there are suffering people, or exploited people, and there are exploiting people. And so Kali Yuga lets those two kinds of people settle their karma. Some people have a good karma to have the dominance over others, and some people have a bad karma to go through that kind of a suffering. So he lets the equations resolve itself. Because that is their karma, they have to go through that. Both of them have neglected Supreme Lord. They didn't take shelter of the Supreme Lord. Both the exploited and the exploiting. That's why we always find ourselves in this situation. So, if Kali Yuga is taking predominance, it's because that's what is supposed to happen. So, according to the people who are in Satya Yuga also, that is the religion. But it's very hard to find anywhere. And whenever there is a slight discrepancy, Krishna comes there and settles it. Comes as incarnation, settles it down. But in Kali Yuga, he lets Kali Yuga go for, have more control over the situation. And that's all because of the different, we are in our own journey and we find ourselves in a situation, what we deserve. So it's nothing to blame on Krishna. So Krishna is just letting it happen according to our karma. So cow being the mother, she is concerned about the people. And although all the people living in this world, they are our children, because the Vedas say cow is a mother, she definitely thinks us to be our children. And she wishes for our welfare. That's why she's still giving the food that we eat. She's still helping out with different herbs which heal us from all the different diseases. But the cow, she has that tolerance. She is actually the symbol of tolerance. So almost everybody living out here, they're trying to become God in different ways. Trying to rule over, trying to take control over the situation, and exploit as much as possible. So Mother Earth is very patient. And she always counts on her husband, the Supreme Lord. So it is said one of the two main concerns of the Supreme Lord is the Bhumi and Laxmi. Bhudevi and Sri Devi, as we say in the Sri Vaishnava context. So, the Bhuma Devi or the Bhumi is one of the concerns of the Lord. And in fact, when Lord Varaha, he lifts the Mother Earth, so she is impregnated with one son, who later becomes a demon, Narakasura, unfortunately. So, Mother Earth is a consort of the Lord, and she always, any kind of difficulty she faces, she looks for her husband to come and resolve. So, that's the situation here. She's very patient with her offsprings. She's providing whatever is necessary for the continuation of life. But when things go beyond the situation that she can tolerate, then she sometimes withdraws all the wealth to herself. Just like how it happened in the case of when King Vena was ruling over the world, and Mother Earth withdrew everything, all riches, all herbs, all the gems and everything that is of use to the mankind. She withdrew everything inside. So when Maharaj Prithu became next after King Vena's disappearance, he found that the earth was completely barren. It had nothing to offer to the mankind, for the people in general, the animals. So he had to go and beg Mother Earth and finally convince her that irreligious people have gone and religion has taken over. And he took all the wealth from her. So like that, so in the Kali Yuga, people are generally always wanting for some nourishment, always wanting, because earth is hiding her wealth. And you can see more and more tracts of land are becoming barren, becoming like a desert, and the rainfall is becoming scarce, drinkable, potable water is becoming scarce. The world is always under the constant threat of being wiped off from all the living entities. So that's the situation we are moving towards in Kali Yuga. And as the Krishna lets things happen like this, and as Kali Yuga progresses, as we see in the 12th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, we see how worse it's going to become. So it's going to be people going to eat people. It's going to be as worse as that. And it's going to be very horrible. So, the best part of Kali Yuga is that we have the holy name, we have Krishna present as Srimad Bhagavatam, and by constant recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam, we do it at a personal level, and we also encourage other people to take part and do it at their own level. So if all the people in this world, they can do this, and this whole Kali Yuga is going to disappear. It's going to become Satya Yuga again. That can happen. There's a potential for that to happen. Srila Prabhupada also said that if Krishna wants, he can give you the whole world in 80 days. The question is, what are you going to do with it? Are we ready for it? That's the question. So, are we ready to become an instrument of the Lord in helping His desire become true? So that's the question. So if the devotees, if the pure devotees are there, they want to, definitely Krishna can make that happen. And that's a prediction that this holy name will go in every town and village. So it is there's a potential for that to happen. Question is, we have to submit ourselves. We have to become purified at our personal level and try our best in furthering this movement and making it, offer it to people in general. And all the devotees are already doing it. So you're all helping in keeping up this wonderful new Talavana and trying to do cow protection and agriculture as per the instruction of Srila Prabhupada. That is a great service, and it is a very valuable service. People are going to come and they're going to see that there is an alternative lifestyle instead of being in a cutthroat, competitive, capitalistic situation where everything is all about making money. So instead of that, so Prabhupada has given us an alternative how we can live, just depending on cows, depending on land, and depending on the wealth that Mother Earth is giving us. So this is very important to understand. The next verse, something interesting. So the says that Prabhupada is mentioning here duties of Kshatriya. How in Kali Yuga, untrained low-class men, they will take over. So we see that. So the democracy, Prabhupada is exactly talking about democracy. Unfortunately, in the age of Kali, lower-class men without training occupy the post of the ruler by strength of popular votes. Instead of protecting the sufferers, such men create a situation quite intolerable for everyone. So this is you can see this is happening all over. So no place is an exception. Talk about any place. So either it is democracy or it is completely demon crazy. So democracy has some, at least it is for the namesake, gives some rights to people. Other places there's not even that. There's no rights given to the people. So it is completely incompetent people leading the country in aristocratic, autocratic style. That creates more suffering from the people. So people are like children. Right? So children, if you give them independence, they're going to hurt themselves. If you try to control too much, still they're going to suffer. So you have to have a balance. Right? So you have to give them the right things, you offer them the right things, give them the right training. So that's what is missing here. These leaders, so-called leaders, they're not able to give them an alternative which is based on God, which is sustainable, which is based upon religion. So they are using their own, either they are trying to do some good to them, but in the process harming them. So like they want to build industries, they want to build factories, thinking that will get employment to the people. But ultimately it's going to do harm to them. So you're going to destroy the, people are going to go away from agriculture, they're going to stop producing grains, and they're going to produce nuts and bolts. And that's not going to satisfy them ultimately. We give them some paper currency, but the currency is of no value. And value can just drastically fall in no time. And it might be penniless. Basically, the whole currency you might have is of no value. And so, the whole, although they really want to do some good to the people, but they end up doing harm to the people. Because you don't follow what is the given, what is the dharma. So Krishna says, Srimad Bhagavatam says, Savai pumsam haro dharma ito bhakti radokshije. The highest dharma is if you can make everybody devotee of Krishna. That is the best solution. Because the ruler should realize that you are not everything. Although you might have some powers, you can exercise over people, but you are not God. And you have very limited capacity, even if you want to do good to others. So real good can only come if you can make them dependent on God. You can lead them to the path of religion. So that is why the kings were called Rajarishis, because they were very righteous and they led people by example. So they were not just Raja or king, but they were Rishis also. So they used to live by an example. They used to practice tapasya, they used to practice austerity, and they used to practice everything that is religion. People used to see them, they used to follow. Yata Raja Tata Praja. However is the king, people in general want to be the same. So democracy is opposite. So just here what we see here is that people with strength of popular votes, you can make one of the low class men amongst them as a king. People become the king makers. And people also follow the king. Right? So it's a two-way influence. So we have to, instead of choosing one amongst us or people in general as a king, they should choose the person who has the highest credentials from the point of view of dharma as the king. And that usually was well suited to be in the Vedic times. The king used to be an epitome of the representative of religion. He used to lead by example. And he used to train, Kshatriyas were trained by the Brahmanas, and they continued the lineage of being very religious and righteous kings. So the earth was very happy, the world was very happy, people were very happy to be under the protection of such rulers. They looked forward for the king for any dispute, any difficulties they had. They knew that the king is very competent and he can give solutions, appropriate solutions. The king is also one of the fathers. Right? If the queen of the country or kingdom is a mother, one of the 7 mothers, king is also a father. So he's supposed to protect his subjects just like children. And so we see both of them have disappeared. Either so even as a father, you are really not fully competent to protect children. You have to depend upon Krishna. Because he's the ultimate protector, he's the ultimate father. So they should have this understanding. The king should have this understanding that I am a servant of Krishna. I am just a representative of Krishna. And I am here to serve the people. That's what we understand. Srila Prabhupada taught us. So we call others as Prabhu. So we understand that we have to become the servants of others. And that is a proper attitude. Even Krishna himself wants to serve his devotees. I want to talk about this. He wants to see how to serve his devotees. And he's tolerating. Here you can see that Krishna is none other than Dharma. So if he wants, he can have the 4 limbs restored. But he's suffering on account of his children who are irreligious. So Krishna undergoes so much suffering, actually, for all the people. He is pained to see us suffer. And he also takes so much suffering on himself. That's because he loves us. He's concerned for us. He looks at us as his children. Just like sometimes the parents will tolerate the pranks or the bad behavior of the children. And it is that Krishna also tolerates very mercifully. Lord Nityananda also had to take the pot being thrown on his head on the account of because he wanted to preach to the drunkards, Jagai and Madai. So Lord tolerates so much for us. He doesn't have to, but he does because he loves us. And he wants to, because he cannot change everything by force. He himself shows by example. As he comes to the Lord Rama also, shows how much he has to tolerate. He has to mother his consort, who is Laxmi Devi herself, was taken by Rama. And he could have stopped that from happening. But he shows what is religion, how one should follow Dharma as a king, how as a husband is to follow Dharma. So he shows by example. He doesn't have to do that, but he does that so that others can follow. Others can take to the path of being patient and following Dharma with perseverance. And so that's very important. Krishna shows by example. So, here, to conclude, so we have to protect ourselves from influence of Kali Yuga by chanting the holy name and reading Srimad Bhagavatam. And we also have to further this knowledge, further this way how to protect each other from influence of Kali. And Kali is not a Satan. Kali is just a situation personified. And it's a very good opportunity. They said the demigods, they want to take birth in Kali Yuga. Because it's very easy to become Krishna conscious in Kali Yuga. The suffering is all over. And there is so much of an turbulence in our life that we easily can seek shelter of the Supreme Lord in His holy name. So, thus I would like to conclude. I would like to look for any comments, devotees, anything to add. Yes, Prabhu.
I think it's a shame we talk about Kali Yuga and the cows and the bulls, which you introduced in the beginning. That we get to protect the cows and the bulls, but there are so many who get slaughtered and don't get that, which shows that there is karma, even amongst the cows and the bulls.
Yeah, so the cows and bulls, they also have to undergo different kinds of suffering, no doubt. Their lifespan is getting cut short, forcibly. And it's not because of their karma, as we understand from the teachings of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, that animals don't have karma. Animals, they are born because of their karma, the previous life. But once they become animals, once the humans, they go back to the animals. So they go up in the evolution, all the way up to becoming a human being. So just because an animal's life is cut short, and it just takes birth as in the next life as a different animal, and goes all the way up to becoming a human being. So, but the person who is cutting short the lifespan of the animals, he gets karma. And yes, animals also suffer, but not because of their karma, because they are forced to suffer. And it's the person who does it who gets the karma. I don't know if I answered your question, Prabhu.
Yeah, it does.
Thank you.
Prabhu, Hare Krishna, welcome. I'm sorry
Hare
to be
Krishna.
so late. Nice to see you. I know the animals don't generate karma, but how is it that you see then that some fortunate soul will show up as a dog or a cat at New Talavana and get to hear the chanting of the holy name if it's just evolutionary process? How is that?
That is true. That's a very valid point. Even we had Maharaj Bharat, so who had to come as a deer. Right? So it's not that all animals have to be souls in the cycle of evolution towards him becoming a human being. Some of the animals are actually great souls. And animals do agree, they have to suffer. Maybe because as a human being they committed some karma. They're born as animals. That itself is suffering. And on the top of many suffering, being killed untimely is also a big suffering. That's definitely enduring this karma, no doubt about that. But they don't generate karma. Thanks for putting it in the right sense. So they don't generate a new karma, but they do endure the previous, the reactions for the previous activities. Yes, that's correct. So, yes, some fortunate souls are there, even though being born as animals, or being born in a place like New Talavana. So they undergo suffering, but it becomes tapasya. Right? So Srila Prabhupada said in once that if people who are the yogis or the yogis who are not fully perfect in their life, their whole lifetime, so sometimes they are born as animals in a place like Vrindavan, where they endure the rest of their life as animals, and they sometimes suffer. But after that, leaving their body, Vrindavan, they go back to the spiritual world. They don't have to take birth as humans again. That possibility is also there. So there are some fortunate souls who were born in an apparently animal body, but still they're great yogis, and they are not like normal animals. They act differently sometimes. And there are many stories of Chaitanya dog following the procession of devotees on their way to Puri. And we see many in Sankirtan also. There are some animals that take part just out of normal. So that happens also all the time. They are not normal souls. They just happen to be born in animal family, animal species, animal body. Thank you, Mataji, for adding the point. Anybody else?
Thank you for the nice class, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was listening to the first part outside on the speaker. But yeah, so you were saying about the age of Kali, and maybe Kali being like a Satan or perhaps even more powerful than Krishna. But I appreciate how you explained that that's not the case. Now with Kali, the way you were describing it, it brought to my mind the idea of like a controlled burn in a forest like this. Sometimes they'll, around here we'll see certain times they'll have a controlled burn in a forested area, maybe to clear out the weeds or to... so is that like an accurate comparison, what do you think?
Yes, definitely, yes. To an extent, yes, that's a good explanation. But controlled burn burns everything, right? In that vicinity, in that... But yeah, you can control what is burnt and what is not burnt also. It's something like that. So people born in Kali Yuga, they're exploited. But that's sort of because of the karma. But the good part of it is that they can take shelter of the holy name. They can understand their suffering, which they fail to acknowledge. So that's the bad part of Kali Yuga. If they suffer, they take shelter into some intoxication, or take shelter into some other way to forget the suffering. They don't realize suffering is a way to understand why we are suffering, and then go to the point of understanding Krishna consciousness, which they don't do. Unfortunately, many people. So once there is a little bit of any kind of enjoyment, they want to forget whatever suffering that happened. And they don't see holistically life is actually a combination of suffering and enjoyment. And they miss the essential part that to become equipoised for both and become Krishna conscious. Yeah, that's adding to your point.
one other question, if that's all right. Yeah, so I was wondering about your thoughts on this, whether the Kali Yuga affects the higher and lower planetary systems, or is it just on the earthly planetary system? I've heard that it just affects like the earthly planets, but I don't know what we've heard about this.
Yeah, the Kali Yuga definitely is on the earthly planet. It doesn't affect the other planetary system, but it does affect, because the demigods especially, they become powerful because of the offerings made by people in the Bhulok, in this earthly planet. They do sacrifices and they offer the ahuti to the different demigods, and they get the power to perform their duties. So when that hasn't happened in the earthly planet, demigods are also not very happy. So it does affect them indirectly, although not directly. And they're not happy to see the performance of sacrifices. Sacrifices are not being performed. It's not something that they like to see. They like to see Dharma flourishing everywhere as demigods. And they like to see the names of Lord, Supreme Lord, being chanted everywhere. If that doesn't happen, they're unhappy. They don't give enough rainfall, and they don't give crops don't grow as they should grow. There is famine, there is desertification of lands, and all this different flooding and all this thing happens. Demigods, in fact, they do that. They are controllers of all these natural forces, and they have to punish people because they have to be punished. It's not something they like to do, but they do it out of duty, sense of duty. And they're not happy, definitely, of what is going on. And they definitely want to see the Supreme Lord come and take incarnation. They want to take part in the happenings. So they are to some extent neutral, and they do their duties. But they definitely, being devotees of the Lord, they don't want to see people suffer. But they have to be part of their suffering, or create suffering for them. It's not something that they want to do. It does affect indirectly, although they don't suffer on account of Kali Yuga. Did I answer your question, Prabhu?
Yeah, thank you. That's very nice.
Yes, Prabhu.
I'm sorry, there was actually two parts to my question. Now, I understand what you said about karma, but as far as our cows and bulls, are they on a higher platform because they're being protected by Krishna? As compared to the cows and bulls that aren't?
Definitely. As your previous question, so you were asking about why certain cows and bulls get protected, certain cows and bulls get slaughtered. Right? So definitely it's some souls in those animal bodies, they were meant to be protected. They are definitely more privileged compared to the other which are not. So yes, there is definitely a difference. They are fortunate, some are unfortunate.